Take two. First of all, a channel update. Thank you guys, those of you that are still subscribing for some odd reason to a channel that's barely alive. Thank you also to everybody that's been commenting and asking questions. I've tried my best to respond to you as much as I can. And that has incentivized me to actually revive the activities on here. As you can see, I've went on a bit of a buying spree because I've got two major builds or rebuilds planned, as well as temperature testing and benchmarking in regards to the Bixkey custom water cooling loop that I got from AliExpress a long time back. It's somewhere in the description below if you guys want to see that being put together. I actually never did any temperature benchmarking to, actually show how it performs, and I'll be showing that as well. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of water cooling things here because we're going to be putting a hard line tube into Diana right there. And that's going to be a bit of a challenge because I've never done hard tubing before. I've got myself a heat gun and everything, so hopefully things turn out well. I'm also using a mixture of parts from Freeze Mod, Barrow and Bixkey for this one, just to see what it's like. The Bixkey, the Barrow and Freeze Mod stuff is going to be going into a rebuild of my previous computer, the i7-4790K. That's going to be turned into a proper gaming media center setup, because I also got my hands on a second-hand GTX 1080 Ti from iGame, or Colorful, that's what they're called. I'm going to be turning it into micro ATX, so we've got a small ITX board here that's going to be used for that, the Maximus 7 Impact. That's going to be the motherboard that we're using. We've got a 240 and a 120 from Freeze Mod. We've got some Barrow stuff as well. We've got a pump, DDC and reservoir combo also from Freeze Mod. We've got some fans here from ID Cooling that we're going to be using in that particular build. So that's the second build, and of course we'll be doing temperature testing and whatnot. So the CPU block that I'm going to be using is a RGB one from Bixkey, which will be doing the job on the i7-4790K, which, if you guys know, is a pretty hot CPU, which I actually started off the relaunch of the content in this channel with, with a de-lidding tutorial, which is also going to be found in the description below. So yeah, so the reason why it's been so hard to make content is because the day job has been absolutely insane, and I've been trying to find time and the motivation to do stuff like this because it's fun. I love doing this. The problem, of course, is when life gets in the way and you get tired and you don't have the energy to do this kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it's a worthwhile thing to do, because a lot of the stuff that a lot of Western YouTubers don't touch these brands, or even if they do touch these brands, it's because it's sponsored or whatever, because they don't want to take the risk. Well, I'm taking the risk. It's cheaper enough for me to get it shipped over from China compared to, say, the US or something. So I think it's a worthwhile risk to take. I think that's the right way of putting it, I mean, they make some pretty good stuff from what I gather. I've had the Bixkey loop in Diana for about 6 months now, and it's still working fine. I've had no leaks so far and everything. And let's see how the Barrow and Freeze Mod stuff holds up as well. The only concession I make to Western brands is, of course, I'm using EK Cryofuel, which has all of the bioinhibitors and biocides and everything that you're going to need in this kind of thing. So yeah, and of course, last but not least, the case that it's going to be going into. Here it is, the Core V21. Went with the Core V21 because it's a square case, so it's going to look nice in the living room. It's got enough space for water cooling as well because it's from Thermaltake, and they had that consideration in mind. And on top of that, there should be enough space in there to cram an ITX board together with all of the custom water cooling setup that I want to do. So there's a whole series of videos that are planned. So if you guys want to find out more about Bixkey, about Barrow, about Freeze Mod, please stay tuned for more videos on this channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Like all YouTubers say, please subscribe. I'll say tick the bell, to get the updates, because there are not going to be as many updates as your favorite YouTubers out there. But hopefully there'll be enough updates that you guys are interested as ever. And of course, if you have any comments and any questions, sound off in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Until then, peace out.